And we are live. Thanks everybody for showing up when you eventually do. It's still at 0 for now. Um, but we are here tonight with Andrew Stevens, and I can't believe that we don't have people just breaking in at breakneck speed.
I know, right? There should be like a line at the door like there is for college bars.
So hey, we have people now. So
Hey, you know what
all is
I,
good.
I, I heard this week, Mike? And
What did you hear?
this is gonna be a shift for us, I know. But apparently, too much profanity on these stations
Hmm.
leads to YouTube not pushing your videos as much. So I'm gonna have to
Yes.
stop swearing.
Okay. I
That
don't know that
sucks.
it's that much of a problem, but
Andrew,
What's the limit? Where's the limit at?
well, is it a problem to stop swearing, Andrew?
Oh no, that's.
No?
I
Really?
mean,
Okay.
either way is fine. Try not to too much.
so it's not like we're monetized. So it's
Well,
not
there
they
is
can
that.
they
That's fair.
cannot demonetize us. So
All right, the swearing lamp is lit. We
All
won't.
right.
We don't need
So
to.
Andrew, before we forget and go off on wild tangents, show us your books.
I guess
Yes,
we should
of
introduce
course.
him as an author of books.
Yeah, yes. Well, yeah.
I mean, that is why I'm here, right?
Well, we don't know why you're here, but hey, thanks.
Oh, I mean, I just met this guy at Worldcon, and he said, "Come on the show." I was like, "Hey,
Yeah,
cool."
you can't
I,
lay your
I
bad decisions on us.
yeah, I had a white van and I said I had candy. Come follow me. Yeah, I just have a
Absolutely.
an innocent face apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, I am Andrew Stevens, debut author. Just published my books in on July 1st. This would be the first one, When Blood Burns. This is my debut into the epic fantasy world. Um, and then I also released a prequel novella along with it, Dawn of the Queen. And that one kind of adds a little bit of extra information to things that happen in the first book, gives a little bit of background about where things kind of started and what's going on today.
Did you
So
release
Andrew,
them both on the first?
Yes.
All right.
so before we get started, Dawn of the Queen, is that a standalone novella?
No, well, I mean, you
Can
could
it be?
read it.
Can it be a
Yeah.
standalone?
So
So
I wrote it to be, you could read it before or after the first book. But yeah, it does add a lot of, it does answer some questions from the first book and gives you extra context.
So the reason why I'm asking is that if you want to enter it into Sphinx, which is the self science, I don't know, it's the novella competition.
Mm.
That it opens Saturday, the 6th. So, and you have to have published it this millennia, I think, is the requirement, and you can't be traditionally published.
Mm.
So, if you want to put
Okay.
it in there and get some eyes on it and maybe some reviews, I would highly recommend it. I
All
am going
right.
to put Proxima Station in there, and mine will be out within the blink of an eye. But that's okay.
It'll be out within two shakes of a dog's tail, Mike.
So anyway, sorry about that. There we go. Speculative fiction. That's what it is.
Now, of course, Andrew, we talked about this before, and not to disappoint, EL is wondering about the knickknacks on the tiny bookcase.
There are a lot of knickknacks. Yes, I was just telling these two gentlemen before the stream went live that I'm in the Air Force. I'm about to retire next year, so a good chunk of those are random going away parting gifts from different units that I was a part of. The what do I call it? It's not a sword. The whatever it's called. The short sword is that was from Guam. That was one of the things they typically gave to people because jungle and
Hmm.
hacking bushes. I've never actually used it. It just sits there. Um, you could see like the dressed up duck. There's a bunch of stuff like that from units that I was a part of, and then of course a bunch of my nerd stuff. Got my candles. I got a cool dragon cup that I got. in
Nice.
Las Vegas, and I was like, "Yep, that's super cool. I got to bring one of those home."
And most people go to Vegas just bring home STDs. That's much nicer.
Yeah, I didn't bring any of those home.
Yeah,
I
bring
got
them
a
all.
couple of my Venoms. I am a huge, if you can't tell from some of the other artwork, anti-heroes and vigilantes are one of my favorite kind of tropes, I guess you could say. And I may or may not have a secret project in the works with that similar vein. But anyways.
Oh, Dan's complaining he never got anything cool while he was in Guam. That's because you were in the Navy, Dan. And the Navy didn't care about you.
And EL says you do not look like you're 40, and I will agree with that.
Well, he's technically correct. I have like 2 months until I'm 40.
Oh, jeez.
But he did ask, and this will be the last EL question we let go here for a while. You don't have
What,
to
the
answer that.
Mohawk? Is that
You
the
can
one
just
where? I mean, that's just my style. I think I'll always have the military style. Like I hate it when the hair gets long on the sides, but I'm also running out of it. It's very thin, so at least if I kind of put it up, you can't really tell as much.
Yeah, you can run, but you can't hide from hair that won't come back.
Yeah.
Already overbooked is absolutely correct. Your book covers look awesome. Where'd you get those done?
I appreciate that. So I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with Patrick, the booktuber.
Yep.
I have been kind of a friend of his for a few years now, and I had originally found somebody on was it Upwork or one of the freelancer sites, and
Yep.
he did a cover for me, and it was okay. But I showed it to Patrick, and he's like, "You could do better," and I kind of agreed with him, and he ended up recommending me a few people. I went with Sutiwat Dechakampu. He's in Thailand, and he does some pretty awesome artwork. He's done some other covers before, but yeah, I've been pretty happy with what he did for these. So, and I'm working on other artwork with him right now while I'm waiting to start the covers for the next couple books. So.
Before we get into what your book's about and all that, how did you end up getting into writing? If this is your first novella, first novel release, how long have you been working on it? What got you into it to begin with?
I've always been kind of had this inclination towards writing. I'm more of a quiet, introspective kind of person, so writing just came easier to me to kind of convey my emotions. And it's like talking to people has always been difficult, but for some reason, just on the page, it just comes out. So I have written things over the years, really, even since high school. I actually started a book in high school that I never finished. It took me a while to find the drive to stick with a project. It was actually about 3 years ago now. I had a friend who I had met previously in Maryland, and he ended up becoming a life coach. And so through just going through his program, the life coaching program, we just talked about a lot of different things and talents, and kind of like I felt like there was, something in my life that I just wasn't, living up to, like a standard that I knew I could. And so he kind of helped me see that. And through the process, we said, writing a book is what I need to do. And so that's what it became. I had already kind of had the ideas for these books. I entered some random challenges on Vocal. They do like prompt-based challenges for story contests. Never won anything on there, but that's where the original idea came from. I already had it, and then it was just like, yeah, I like this idea. Let's run with it. It took me 2 years from start writing to like the book was basically done. Yeah.
That's not too bad for a first book. I think most people have it knocking around their brain box for 5 to 10 years before they actually get to putting it on paper.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. The first draft took me a year, and it really I didn't really kick it in into like a really good pace until like 6 months in. So I'm hopeful that I can at least put out something every year going forward.
Yep. And let me warn you, because I put out, my first book, my second book, my third book came out 6 months later, and I'm like, that's it. I am a 2 novel a year writer now. No, no. Then it took me 15 months to put out my fourth book. So, yeah, you just
I
don't
did
know.
the
Don't
same
take
thing.
anything for granted.
Yeah, I have I had set a goal of 180K words for this book,
Oh,
which
God,
I hit
way too many.
almost exactly. But I'm not trying to go Brandon Sanderson or Ryan Cahill with like 250,000 plus words. But I say that, and then I'm going to write a book, and it's like, well, it just needs to be bigger, and I'm going to try to stick to no more than 220, but we'll see.
How many words is your novel?
180K for the big one. The novella is
Bring that
only
book.
like
Bring that book back up.
it's not very surprisingly. I thought it was going to be thicker. It is a
Yeah.
6x9, and the print. I probably could have done the print a little bit bigger. I
You
did
got it
have
like
to
6 point or
reprint.
something?
No, it's at
Oh,
11. So it's a little on the smaller side, but it's not
How many pages?
four something.
Okay. So your
Like,
book is
yeah,
almost
four.
twice the word count of my book, but we both have about 400 and something pages. So yeah,
I did do all the formatting myself, so I don't know as far as like margins and everything. I think it looks good, but maybe other people will tell me otherwise.
no, it does look good. It's a matter of when people read it, whether or not if the lines are too close together, sometimes it's hard for people to read that.
Yeah.
But with 180,000 words, I think economizing is probably a fairly important thing because yeah, otherwise you're going to be stuck with a 700 or 800 page book. But as it sits with Mike's abstract, I won't read anything over 500 pages. He can still read this despite the fact it's 180,000 words.
well, I
Yeah.
will tell you that no, I can't, because I looked at that and I was like, there is no way I could sit down and read that. Way too tiny. I'm old. I need, large print. So
He's
I'd
little
rather.
his purse kind of glasses or whatever.
So I will wait for the
Yeah, that's
audiobook.
fair. No, I definitely, that is one thing I will have to get some feedback on is since I'm doing everything myself and it's the first time, like I do want the reader experience to be enjoyable. And if it's not, that's, a problem.
So
But that's the
Andrew,
beauty of indie publishing is you can just, fix your
yeah.
document and reload it again. And
Yeah.
So Andrew, I want to ask you. This is the proper address for you on the bottom of the screen, scrolling across. Facebook, A. Stevens Writes.
Yep, that is me on Facebook. And then the A. Stevens Writes is the same for Instagram, Threads, TikTok.
you have a pretty active TikTok channel?
I got a lot of followers there, like almost 900, but no, not really. I don't really know why. I think TikTok is my biggest platform, but and I try to post somewhat regularly there, but like the interaction's still not super high, so still trying to hone that one in. But
So Andrew, I have a question for you. When you launched your first book, did you wait until 5:43 p.m. the day of to tell people, "Oh, by the way, my book is out today"?
no, I did not.
Because one of the three of us did that yesterday.
I forgot.
No, I was a little more intentional with that one, but yeah.
I had
Although,
shit to do.
to be fair, my first book I finished editing on the 4th of July, and I uploaded it and made it go live, and then called my brother and doubled the number of people in the world who knew it was out there. So
Well,
unfortunately, it
So,
stopped doubling it too.
so you're comparing your first book experience to my 10th.
Yes. Uh huh.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. No, Tim,
And
I didn't. But you guys all did very helpfully on X, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
do you have a copy of your book, Ro?
Of course I do. I've got a little stack of them here because nobody knows about it, so I have them all. There it
And
is.
you know who does not have a copy of their book handy tonight? Me.
You.
No Proxima Station,
I don't think we've ever seen it
cameos.
before. What do we do?
Well, I mean, it is right over my shoulder, and it's up there, and then the wrapped
Yes.
version is there. But I'm subtle.
And I know, Andrew, we're stepping on your space, but um, so we have someone tomorrow night, right, Mike?
No,
No? Okay, we get tomorrow off. And then Thursday, we get to go hang out with the guys, Tim McKay, over at All Caps, which will be fun.
Sweet.
and then
And
what?
I did have to laugh when I saw that photo. I don't know how far you had to dig to get that, Tim, but
And what about Friday night, bro?
I am over with PL Stewart at
Nice.
what time is that? That's 8 p.m. No, 8 p.m. on the 4th at All Caps, and 7 p.m.
7
with
p.m.
PL. Yeah.
So got that out, and then we are back here Saturday with Greg Contaxis. So should be interesting. But anyway, we don't worry about any of that stuff now. We have Andrew here today. So
That's right. So tell us about your book, Andrew. What are we looking at when we turn that glorious cover over to the left?
are there dragons?
There are dragons, but they're a
Smart.
little bit different than. I mean, who doesn't love a good dragon? But they're a little bit different in my book than than traditional, like what you're going to see in Game of Thrones. They are living, breathing characters in my novels, and they actually take human form out of a necessity to essentially recharge their magic, so to speak, which is mentioned in the book that it's due to the vanished gods from long ago and kind of a curse. But there is much more to the story than the first book lets on. But yes, dragons who can turn shapeshift against humans who have stolen some of the dragon's blood and are using their own kind of magic against them.
I like dragons that are actually intelligent as opposed to just big, dumb, mindless tooth machines.
I'm the opposite, but I know that shocks everyone.
I think both are cool in their own ways. Like I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Bloodsworn saga by John Gwynne. I picked that first book up just because it's a big badass dragon on the cover, and but I really liked the way he kind of had the gods in his story. And while my dragons are gods per se, they are kind of in a similar vein.
It's interesting that you have them change into humans to regain magic. You would think it would be the other way around.
Yeah, it's I played around with how I wanted that magic system to work for a while. There's actually a guy called the Magic Engineer who I met at a writing conference a couple years ago, and he kind of helped me work through some things. But ultimately, I kind of decided that I wanted that to be kind of a limitation that they have. They can't just be big and badass all the time. But they also aren't harmless in their human forms, and they have their own other magics apart from that. But yes, there are reasons for it, and that will be explained eventually.
Think you could work that in?
Probably some way in a fantasy setting somehow, I'm sure.
Just make sure you name the dragon Ponzi.
Pete the Dragon. Good grief. So what are you working on now?
I'm working on book 2, and I also have another novella in the works. So my plan is with the novellas to kind of walk back gradually in time and explain and provide more context as it will relate to the main books coming out in the story as the story currently progresses. So yes, I am working on those next two at the moment. And then, like I said, I have kind of a secret side project that won't leave me alone, standalone kind of vigilante novel that I'm just kind of outlining and trying to get out of my head so I can focus on the series.
Do you have a mailing list already and all that kind of good stuff?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because I was going to say
yeah,
a secret project for you know, your first book has been out for 2 months. I was, you know, who's it secret from? But
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I'm telling people about it, but I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like, again, I was asking for advice on Threads because I'm like, I gotta focus on my series because I do love it and I'm excited for where it's gonna go. But you know, you get these ideas and then it just starts growing in my mind. So I'm just trying to outline and write some stuff down to hopefully get it out of the way so I can focus. But
are you a big
see what
outliner?
happens. I am. I like knowing where I'm going ahead of time. At least having an outline and giving kind of a brief synopsis of what each chapter should contain. And then when I sit down and write, it's all, you know, just free flows, but and the outline will change as it goes. But yeah, I like having some semblance of knowing where I'm going.
Wow. So how's the reaction been to your first book?
Not bad. I think I'm probably beating the averages. Of course, I'd like to see it get better, and I'm still trying to figure out the marketing aspect of everything. It's a whole different beast.
If you do, you're invited to come back on and tell us
Yeah.
how to do it.
Absolutely.
Sure,
Let us
will
know.
do.
Let us know.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a challenge, and it's like a little bit out of my comfort zone, but you know, you don't grow if you don't step out of there. So trying things.
So
People say that.
have you talked to your friend Patrick and had him read it, review it, hold it up in front of the cameras, anything?
Patrick is a very busy man. He's about to have a baby soon, and so his list is pretty picky. So I'm hoping one day, but we'll see.
Going to say, gotta get
I'm
on
trying
it.
for more low-hanging fruit first, and maybe eventually Patrick will.
Did you hear that, Ro? We are low-hanging fruit, and we are so low that we begged him to come on.
I've been called worse.
More accessible.
You could even say we're rotten at this point.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'll get called worse again at some point. So that's not a big deal.
Totally.
What about people at work? I mean, you work in, well, I guess what do you do for work, and what's their reaction, or do they know?
I work at a very small company. We provide cybersecurity services to other companies, kind of like contracting. So yeah, there's a couple that know. I haven't sold any books yet or anything, but I'm trying the social media thing mainly and trying to find people who like these kinds of stories and working from there.
Have you guys tried to sell your services to the Pentagon? Because I understand that there's some folks up in DoD who could use some cybersecurity lessons, if nothing else.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. They're probably looking for bigger names in the sea than us, but.
Well, if you just went by the moniker Big Balls, you know.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good call these days. He's being investigated. So didn't take long. Right there.
It's okay. I'd rather not work for the government anyways. I've had enough of that.
Okay. So tell us about Kai and Mara.
Yeah, so Kai and Mara, they are the twins on the cover. Parentless twins, as you know, the trope kind of goes.
Right.
Taken care of by their uncle, who serves in this order of the Dragon Bloods, which are the humans with the dragon's blood in their veins that gain the extra powers like speed, strength, agility, could see a little bit further, and that sort of thing. And they've been under his care ever since their parents died when they were 10. They are twins, but they are very different personalities. Kai is much more protective. He's more outgoing and social. He quick to anger and sometimes a little bit of a loose cannon. Whereas Mara's probably a lot more like me, a little bit very introspective, very more quiet, hesitant, always kind of sees the good in every situation. And it's kind of been a fun balance to with the different POVs to kind of go back and forth between them and how they see things differently, but also really just kind of understand each other. And I don't have, at least not yet, any romance elements in the series. I plan to have some as we go, but I really wanted for at least book 1 to focus on that kind of sibling relationship and like show how much they care about each other and look out for each other, and how it kind of is necessity for them to work together to overcome the dragon princess and her thirst for vengeance.
Can you show your cover again real quick? And I have a question for you. Has anyone asked you if this is romantasy? And you had to tell them no, they're twins. Because if not, that's coming.
I have not, actually. I have not had that question. However, I'm pretty sure I've had that assumption because when I was looking for ARC readers to get some early reviews, I had a lot of people sign up, but I didn't really get a whole lot of reviews out of it. I told people, it's like, hey, if you DNF, totally cool, just let me know. I'd appreciate knowing. I only had a couple people tell me, but I had a suspicion that they were probably looking for more romance.
Yep. Don't cave, man. Don't cave into it.
Oh no. I mean, I want it to happen naturally, and it's not gonna, but it's never gonna be an integral part of books.
I'll just tell you, I talked to Palmer Pickering in her first book, Moon Deeds. She has twin brother and sisters on there, and she's like, and everyone asked me, is it romantasy? Is it and she's like, no. If you turn it over, the very first word is twins, so-and-so and so-and-so. She's like, the very first word is twins, if they look at the back cover, but everyone assumes it's romantasy. So you have that to deal with, or if you don't, you will. But once it goes on to Netflix, then you won't have to answer that question anymore. So
yeah.
I was going to make an Arkansas joke, but I won't do that.
Hey, at least you didn't say Kentucky. I appreciate that.
I will rise above that.
So. I'm sure there's an audience for that sort of thing. Maybe a little more niche, but yeah.
So I guess we should take a little detour here. Looking at your wall, there obviously is a Star Wars kind of fandom about you.
There is.
So which Star Wars after the first two are worth a damn?
After you're talking about A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back?
Those are the two.
Those two?
Those are the only two that matter.
I mean, Return of the Jedi. Like, those are the best ones.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi is okay because you get all the little teddy bear creatures running around.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I liked that, and I liked Tatooine, but and Boba Fett was always, I mean, you can see I got the one artwork from him and then the Mandalorian, but Boba Fett, like as a kid, like you couldn't beat him as a character. He was the coolest, even though he never really said anything. But Mandalorian show was awesome, as Dan said. The Boba Fett show, like I really wanted it to be good, but it was kind of a letdown.
I mean, as a Star Wars fan, do even you think that maybe they're just trying to milk that cow a little too much?
I mean, I think they're trying to milk a lot of it too much, which I don't know. I tend to lean on the side of being less critical, even though, like, I'm willing to look past flaws generally, and I've just been happy to get more Star Wars content. But there are shows that I haven't even watched because
So here is the big disconnect with us, Andrew. You are happy to see the bright side of things and look at that, where Mike and I are naturally predisposed to not. So Jar Jar is the Sith Lord or no?
that is the big question, isn't it?
It's one of several dumb questions. Yeah,
I don't know.
just the first.
I think I'd rather have him just be a dumb character. I don't know. As a Sith Lord, I don't think that makes it any better.
No, I don't have the patience to be a Sith.
So can I ask my dumb question?
You may as well.
Okay, I have my weapon of choice ready. Okay, Andrew, there's only one correct answer, and about 90% of our guests get it wrong.
Okay.
And you told us before that you have not watched the show, so you are not primed to choose one or the other. So I want you to imagine yourself going down the main drag at Colorado Springs.
But hold on.
And you,
Mike, take a second and enjoy this moment where you still have a chance at one of our guests choosing what you want them to choose. Just savor it for a second. Okay, now go.
Okay, so you are going down the main drag of Colorado Springs. You are in a saddle. That saddle can either be on a T-Rex or on a Griffin. Which one do you choose and why? And I will impale myself if you choose poorly.
I mean, a Griffin, who doesn't want to fly?
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you. EL and I are.
It's only you and EL. I mean, like.
And Tim Wolf, if he was here, because he likes lizards. So.
Okay.
And I mean, you're green with Canadians, so. I like a little violence with my. I have road rage, so.
I mean, Griffin could be just as violent. You could pick somebody up and drop and watch them fall all the way down versus T-Rex. Done.
See, in my head, all I envision is the T-Rex grabbing the car in its mouth and throwing it into the second story of a building to get the terrible drivers off the road. And this is like, a dream of mine to be able to do
But
this.
if you're flying, you don't even have to worry about roads.
Yeah, but I'm a road rager, so I want to see violence with the people who offend me.
So you hate roads, but you need it. You need something to embrace.
Mike, don't you drive a Subaru?
I do not. I drive what is it? Nissan.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway,
right.
So you've disappointed, but at this point, 90+% do. So, you're just one of them.
But I guess it's pointless asking you Star Trek or Star Wars. I mean, obviously.
Oh yeah, no, I've never been a Star Trek. Trekkie, nope. I've watched some and I like some of it, but too much.
So what TV shows, movies, books kind of really reinforced your desire to write fantasy?
Well, so as far as books go, there hasn't been a ton. I read a lot in high school, and then video games came along when I was in like my later years of high school. And
okay, whoa, sorry, hold on. I call bullshit on that right away, Andrew. You said you're getting ready to turn 40, and I am currently involved in organizing my 40th class reunion. So that means you were born about the time I graduated high school. There were plenty of video games when you were born.
I mean, we got our first computer, like desktop computer. My dad got one when I was, I don't know, maybe 10 to 12.
Okay.
And then I played like 8-bit invaders and like on that, like, what's the pre-floppy disk, the flat one?
Oh, the 5 1/4? Yeah.
The floppy disk.
Yeah, there was like
also a floppy disk. Yeah.
6 2D games on there that I played before I got like a Nintendo, and then, but yeah, PC games was always where it's at for me.
Yeah.
So actually, I've taken a lot of my love for fantasy has come from games like the Witcher series and um, I mean even going back to like Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64. A lot of those sorts of games like that. RPGs has always been my favorite genre of games. I did read a lot of Star Wars as a kid. I did read Lord of the Rings. I never read Wheel of the Time. I still haven't, and I have some of the books, so I'm gonna try to read that eventually.
Don't do it. Don't do
Oh,
it.
go ahead and read them. They're fine.
They call 3.5 books the slog.
Yeah.
Why would anyone read it?
Well, I'm also thinking about Malazan. I really want to try Malazan. So I got a long road ahead of me to catch up.
You got to bite into some of your writing time to get the reading done.
That is true. It's hard to find that balance now, but I do want to learn and get better at my craft, and I know part of that is reading other authors. I picked up a Robin Hobb book thanks to Mike at the at Worldcon. I'm gonna start reading some Robin Hobb here soon. Try to get some of the masters. Already read a little bit of Joe Abercrombie. Yeah, Malazan looks. I know it's going to be an uphill. It's an investment, I'll say that, but it just sounds freaking cool.
So
Well, don't forget some of the older folks too, like David Eddings and Thomas Covenant series, Stephen Donaldson, I guess.
Yeah, I actually read Stephen R. Lawhead. I don't know if you know any of his books. There's like, I think it's the Song of Albion series about a guy who like stumbles through a portal and goes back into medieval times. That's one series I read as a kid that I'll always remember as just like a really cool story. Wizard of Earthsea. I think that's really the only books of Ursula K. Le Guin I've read, but love that series as well.
If I may, Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court. Mark Twain. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
I remember that movie. I mean, that's a guy who goes back in time, and he's the smartest man in the world. Get a lot of Idiocracy vibe.
So Tim McKay's here, and one thing we do agree upon is the Merlin books by Lawhead. Taliesin is the first one. Excellent series. Absolutely loved it. Highly recommend it. And if you liked his Song of Albion, which I did not care for as much, but excellent writer. Highly recommend him.
Yeah.
And look at that. Tim and I are agreeing on something. It doesn't happen often. But I was looking over my silly questions here, and I have one that I think is particularly important that we ask you.
Oh.
And that is, do you have a preferred method for killing a dragon?
A preferred method for killing a dragon? Well, I guess you could say a spear, because, and this is actually something I did specifically in my book. So I have, I would very much assume that you guys are familiar with, what's his name? It's like an older British guy who does like a lot of like history lessons and weapons craft type stuff. I can't. It's like right there, but I can't think of it. But anyways, I did some like weapon research, and I know like in fantasy, I think the sword is the most popular weapon portrayed in all of fantasy, right? Because swords are cool, but when I was thinking about it, I was like, not only do I want like dragon fighters to be more accurate, and I really think that the spear, if you're talking about killing an imaginary creature, the spear would be the most effective, handheld weapon to do that. So if
it's a short spear, right?
Yeah, not like a
stabby spear, not like a throwing spear.
Yeah. Not in my book. I it's hard because I initially, when I first wrote my book, all the characters were younger, and they were just it was almost kind of like a school setting, not too much school, but they were becoming knights in the order and training versus dragons are real. I agree. But they were training to become Dragonbloods. And then after working with my editor, I decided to fast forward basically 5 years. They've already been trained, and we got through all of that. So, and I think the book was better for it. But so I'm not sure how much of that. I don't think most of that kind of got deleted. But yeah, like actually talking about how using a spear and not throwing your weapon away because that's stupid. But yeah.
I think I saw this thing once. I think it was Shaka Zulu, who, I mean, he's the one that realized in Africa, we're sitting here throwing spears at each other, and we throw our spears, and we have to wait for them to do the courtesy to send them back to us, right?
Yeah.
So he said, screw this, and gave everybody shields and broke off half their spear and just, let them have their first shot. And as they waited, they just ran up and stabby, and, took over everything.
Yeah. I think it's Lindy Bage. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. He's an older guy. He does a lot of but he did a series on like spears and how they're kind of like the king of medieval weapons. Honestly,
Yep.
Against most any other weapon, they can beat if you're skilled. So I thought it was kind of fun to take a little bit of a different approach in my books.
I think for fantasy, spears can be very cool as well. I mean, swords are obviously they're kind of a sexy kind of look at me kind of thing, but given the right treatment, the spear can work the same way.
Yeah.
Okay, Ro, is it time for the bald dome?
I think so.
I don't think it's going to last.
D&D, Andrew?
What's that?
You ever play D&D?
have never played it really, but I am pretty familiar with how it works.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, the idea generally is to roll a 20-sided die high, usually.
And
Michael,
I will not do that.
Michael sucks at rolling dice. And these are not weighted dice. This is just Mike. So we're going to put you in a situation, and you're going to kind of tell us what happens. So pick one of your characters.
All right. I will go with Aaron. He is a hunter in the what I call the lodge, and he plays kind of a side. He has kind of a side story that happens throughout the book to kind of save the day at one point.
Okay, so Aaron is going to be transported to a different place. He does not get to bring his weapons with him. What is your favorite color?
And we'll go with black.
Okay, he has a black fizzy potion. The shopkeeper guaranteed him it's 100% effective, but he lost the card, so he doesn't know what it actually does. So it was on the discount rack. So he has a black fizzy potion guaranteed to work either on himself or on any adversaries he may encounter. He is going, I will roll the dice now, and he is going to 3, which is...
You don't want me to use the little spinny wheels?
I just had forgotten, so I just rolled. Feel free if you want to pull them up.
Do you want a weapon or an object?
Okay, so he has been hold on, let's go first this. He's been transported to, we did that before, so we're going to just go. He's gone to the Crystal Lake. The lake's surface shimmers with an unnatural gleam, mirroring the twin moons hanging low in the sky. Strange fish with translucent scales leap in graceful arcs, leaving ripples that distort the reflection of the towering, ivy-clad ruins on the shore. This is all ChatGPT. That's why it's very descriptive and terrible. Beneath the water, ancient crowns and enchanted blades lay half buried in the silt, guarded by silver-scaled water serpents that watch you with jewel-bright eyes. So that is where Aaron has been transported to. Now, he
Okay.
gets his choice. He can have a common item, and he'll face a common animal, or he can get a weapon, and he will face a fantasy creature. Which does he choose?
A weapon.
Okay.
Weapon. All right. Hold on. Weapon. Let's see what you get. Round and round she goes. A mage staff.
Okay.
Is Aaron magically inclined at all?
He is not. Not one
Okay.
bit.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Great.
if it's a mage staff that has like power to it, you don't need to be a magic user to use it, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So 15 or better to see if it has anything, Mike.
Yeah.
15.
Oh, okay.
Look at that.
So it's got something to it. You just don't know what it is. But we
All right.
need a mythical creature now, right?
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. Sorry, it was a mythical creature.
Okay,
Hold on.
hold on. We got it. We got the big wheel of mythical creatures.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. So we're going to spin again. We got to know what it is. A drake. It's not the duck. It's like a small dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So Aaron, with his magical staff of unknown abilities and his potion of unknown qualities, is looking at this ivory tower in ruins, trying to avoid the bright-eyed serpents in the lake below him. And as he's going, he doesn't happen to notice until he looks up, and lo and behold, there is a drake who's just turned around the corner. And now, how this plays out is you can tell us how this ends, or you can say, well, I'm going to swing at him. Do I hit or not? In which case, I will roll and things will go disastrously. So you can have me roll, or you cannot. But you have to tell us how the story ends, and we will quote unquote help if we're asked.
All right.
So he's been staring at the jeweled-eyed serpents. He looks the other way. He sees a drake who has just turned the corner and is just giving him a death glare.
All right. Well, considering the potion is black, generally probably not something that you'd want to take yourself. So I'm going to say he tosses that into the lake, hoping it has some kind of positive effect on the fish there. Or negative, I guess it could be.
Okay, well, it's a potion of healing. So in this case, it's like a caffeine injection. Now the things are just swimming around twice as fast.
All right.
And you still have the drake who's like, okay, I'm going to kill you, but you threw that at the fish.
Well, perhaps he could use the fish as kind of a distraction to lure the drake down and get them to fight each other, and then try to figure out what his staff does in the short amount of time he has while they're distracted to use his exceptional aim with a bow to hopefully shoot the staff in an effective manner.
There's a lot of if-then like statements. It like thinks that I need to roll for these.
Hold on one sec.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I've got the effect of the staff.
So you say that he tries to lure the drake into the water and the treasures and the caffeinated eel fish thingies, snakes, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. He did not say it worked or not. So Ro, give me a number that he has to hit in order to, this to happen.
What's he doing?
He is trying to lure the drake by the water so that he and the eels can fight each other.
What's he using to lure the drake? His self?
Yeah. So let's say he uses the staff, whatever it does, to try and get the fish to go away. to the other part of the lake,
where are you pointing the staff? At the drake or at the fish?
at the water, to
At the
get
water.
the fish to go over.
Okay, so you feel a buildup in the staff, and it pulses with energy, and you look down, and several of the eels have little tufts of hair growing out of them now.
Alrighty.
And you can tell you're now just holding a piece of wood.
Okay. Well, then I chuck the staff on the other side of the lake to distract the fish over there.
Okay, Mike.
Yes.
I'm going to say 18. I would say like 19 or 20, but I'm going to say 18. Give me an 18 or better, and this will be a lot of fun.
8.
Oh, okay, no. The drake just kind of watches the stick go, and then looks back at you.
All right. Well, get in the water a little bit, get the fish to come over, quickly grab one and toss it at the drake.
Okay. The drake snaps it up and eats it. And now he kind of lowers his head down a little bit. He's still staring at you, though.
Well, try and grab another fish and toss another one at him.
Okay, what's it? Aren't there like eels in here, Mike?
Yes.
Well, whatever the eel fish creatures.
Silver-scaled water serpents that have now been
Oh.
highly caffeinated and are slightly hairy.
That's right.
But they're hairy, so they're easier to grab now.
That first one was a freebie then. Let's just say you need a 12 to grab a patch of hair.
That'd be a 3.
Yeah, so you get bit by a serpent. A snake, are they poisonous, Mike?
I don't know. I guess we'll roll.
15 or better and they're poisonous. So you want low.
Now he'll roll high.
1.
Oh, wow.
They are not only not poisonous, this one doesn't have teeth. So he's just kind of gumming your wrist.
Sweet. So I just pull it out and toss it to the drake.
And
the grandpa.
The drake snaps it down again. And now his tail is wagging. And he's...
All right. Well, the fact that his tail's wagging, I'm press my luck and try and move a little bit closer and make friends with him.
He lowers his head and kind of paws at the ground a bit.
Try and grab another fish.
Mike?
12 or better again?
Yep.
That'd be a 7.
15 or better?
15.
You wearing gloves?
Sure.
Good answer.
Yes.
Okay. He does bite you, but it doesn't make it quite all the way through the leather of your gloves. But he's stuck on your hand, so that might be good.
All right. So I'll fling that one as well.
And just like the others, he's like, you're just feeding him lunch. He's happy as a clam.
Awesome. Try approaching him again.
Backs up a little bit.
Keep trying to approach him.
Mike, give me a roll, please. 12 or better.
That'd be a 1.
Oof.
I was
How
trying
many
to
ones
do
have I had?
something, Michael. Nope, he snaps out at you.
All right.
Like,
I'll
comes
back up.
really, really close.
Back up a few steps. Point at the fish. See if he understands.
Yeah. Give me a little head nod.
All right. Well, I will grab another one.
You're either going to make friends with this drake or you're going to die trying to catch fish.
12 or better?
Yeah.
14. Look at that.
Hey.
Toss him a fish.
All right.
Now, are you throwing it into his mouth or are you throwing it in front of him?
I'm throwing it close to his head, and he seems to be pretty good at catching them.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're on a path here. You're just going to keep doing this?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just save ourselves some time. The mind was made up pretty early on when you threw the stick. Had he rolled, he would have wanted to fetch the stick. Okay? Keep giving him fish long enough, and the drake will let you pet him
All right.
like a giant dog.
Okay.
So we'll just, rather than continue making these rolls, because you won't survive if Mike has to keep rolling 12 and 15s.
I only rolled 2 1s tonight, so in a 3.
Only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you only rolled like 5 times, Mike.
Yeah, well,
Like 40% of your rolls are ones.
it's a talent.
Yeah, it really is.
Do we roll
It's
one
gone
last time?
worse. It's gone worse, Andrew. Sure, go ahead.
Is this to see if they end up being friends or not, or what?
Yeah, let's do that.
What do I need to roll?
I don't know. Let's see what you roll.
19.
Hey, okay.
Bosom buds. You've
Yes.
got a pal to bring back to the world with you,
Awesome.
which will be interesting when you go out trying to kill dragons. To
Yeah.
have a drake with you, that might be a bit of an awkward kind of thing, but you know.
Well, I will say, by the end of the first book, there's the potential that things might change in the future. So,
No spoilers there, though.
no.
Okay. You want to hold up your books again?
Sure.
When
So-
Blood Burns, available now in the Dawn of the Queen.
Queen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they've been out for 2 whole months, and you're getting some pretty good feedback on them?
Yeah, not a ton of reviews yet, but they've all been pretty positive. I just got an editorial review today. I think editorials probably tend to lean towards the author's favor, but it's and it might be a little overly flattering, but still cool.
Yeah, you need to work on that marketing.
Oh,
Really need to work on that marketing.
overly flattering isn't always a bad thing.
You just don't tell people that. You say, they said this is a top 10 book of the year. You know.
Pretty much, they did.
Yeah. So.
Well, someone, and I won't say who exactly, but they're not here right now, said reminds them of Terry Brooks, and I'll take that all day long.
Oh yeah.
So
See, now I feel left out that I don't have my book to show, but I guess I did it for over a
Yeah.
month. So
you'll be all right.
So-
J4, we see you. We'll check. We don't check that email often. We probably should a little bit more, but Mike and I will check it out and we'll get back to you.
And while we're shouting out to the crowd, Sheriff Joe, I lied when I said I would get you my feedback by the end of the weekend because the weekend's over and I have not given it to you, but it is coming. So, let's see, Andrew, when is your next book out? Do you have any guesstimate as to when you want it to come out?
No, not quite. I will be
Smart answer.
releasing the next novella probably. My goal will be like 3 months before the next novel comes out, and so I'm shooting for late spring, summer next year, hopefully at the latest. But we shall see.
Alrighty.
All right.
And get your friend Patrick to read that and review it and hold it up on his channel.
I know, right? That's the dream.
Yeah, do what you can. So, best of luck to you. I will probably never ever read it because it seems very long, and I don't like long books.
Jesus.
But you know, anyone who's watched this show knows that I DNF over half the books I read anyway. So you know, having me not read it is probably not a bad thing. But if it comes out on an audiobook, you know, then we'll talk. Then I will probably buy it and give it a try.
I would like to, but it's an investment, so we'll see.
And then
And-
there's always EL. Yes, I could read his novella. This is true.
And congratulations
win.
on the 214 there, Andrew. That's always a happy thing.
What's that?
So congratulations on the 214. That's always a happy thing.
Yes. I cannot wait.
All right.
Oh,
Right.
and by the way, the novella is free for newsletter subscribers.
Oh, right on.
Oh,
Or
nice.
ebook, which is on my website. So, yeah.
Okay.
Website or Facebook?
Website. You can find it through my Facebook stuff.
I tried going to your website and it wouldn't load for me, but that might be just bad internet on my part.
Okay.
But anyway, you can find it, and if you can't, you know where to find Andrew, and you can ask him about it, and I'm sure he can hook you up.
And hold on there, Michael. Mike and I will be back on the 6th of September, which is like Saturday, right?
Correct?
At 2 p.m. If you just have to see one of us before then, I am on all caps at 8 p.m. on Thursday, and then at 7 p.m. Friday with PL Stewart. So join us there, and we'll see you around. Thanks for joining us here tonight.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Now it's time to wave awkwardly while we wait for the stream.